December drop is now live. You can see we have our Coyote Clan shirts with the beautiful design on the back there, and we have that nice little 5.0 emblem on the front. These things are top-notch quality. It's an amazing material, feels great. We also have something very cool with December drop. I am doing my first giveaway ever here on the channel, and it's gonna be something that my Coyote boys can definitely benefit from. Every dollar is gonna give you one entry towards this full carbon Dyna Performance electronic flat bottom steering wheel. So head to the link in the description, guys. Thank you so much for your continued support. Go grab the shirts, go grab the jet tags. Things are gonna fly off the shelves, and after December, who knows, maybe we'll do another giveaway for January. Unfortunately, we are stuck in a carport on a rainy day. It sucks. The time Jake comes by, he always brings a Maryland weather.
We came on the meets too. We came to perform.
Yep. So I was really hoping to, get a couple rips in this thing, but whatever. We're gonna make best of what we got. It's actually pretty sweet. Is that street speed?
No. I don't. I might be.
I think the street speed. Yeah. Mike, what the f, man? Hit me up. I'm not that bad of a guy. I know everybody talks shit on me, but damn, dude. Anyway, man, you're familiar with like the Mustang Madness type style videos,
Always.
Right?
Watched them since day one, guys. I've been a subscriber forever, since 2 Valve was around, so.
It's kind of funny how everything worked out. He actually, when you bought the C8, you hit me up and you're like, yo, let's film a video. And I was like, shit, a C8? Sure. Now I'm stuck with this fucking guy. Today's Mustang Madness. I know you guys love this series. It's raining. It sucks, but we're going to make best with what we got. This is definitely a different format. I never film them like this. It's just kind of winging it, but I want to hear about this thing, man. I know the viewers want to hear about it. Why a Gen 3 overall? Like I said, you've had a Gen 2. Why Gen 3?
I know the Gen 3, I mean, from having them both full bolt-ons, and when I had my Gen 2, I did have a GT 350 intake manifold because at the time, the Gen 2 Coyote just came out and everyone was telling me, go with the 6R80, and that was when the problems when the MT82 started. So got a 6R80 with the car, had full bolt-ons, long tubes, high flow cats, GT 350 intake. Car was shifting, I think, like 7,500. The shop had it revving at on 85. And comparing a Gen 2 from a Gen 3, not even a comparison. This Gen 3 would have probably put about 8 freaking bus links on my Gen 2. Not even a comparison when it came to all motor versus all motor. And the Gen 3 definitely shines when it's the all motor.
Well, there's no doubt it's a gorgeous looking car. You and I will always butt heads when it comes to Mustang. This is not a Mustang, it is, but in my opinion, you guys know the S197, that's why I bought it, man. I could have had a Gen 2. I don't know, were the Gen 3s released when I bought this? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, they definitely were. No, it was the 2018s. It was the first year when they had the problems. The Kaboom ones. Yeah, I stayed far away from those. I remember you were talking about that. I'm not getting a Gen 3. Yeah, but I went S197 just because I personally love that body style. I can definitely, it's just two different cars, man.
I drove Derek's car. I drive the shot of this, and after getting on them hard for both, that's when 97 feels more planted. I mean, this, with it being an automatic and the 10-speed and the way it shifts, it's violent. It's very violent, just the way it hits. It starts to spin. It's not really as predictable as the straight axle car. Being stick shift and being able to know what gear you're in, because if this car accidentally upshifts, you guys seen what the Mustangs do. They'll spin and spin, and once you hit that upshift, you're gone. No controlling that.
This Gen 3 is by far one of my favorites. Shout out to my boy Brandon if you're watching this with the ruby red one. That's another one of my favorites, and he's kind of the one that turned me on to Gen 3s because that was the first one I actually saw in person all done up. But now we have Jake here, completely different car, GT 500 front bumper, which I'll let him explain as to why he did that. And you know what? Just take us around the car, man. Give us the whole scoop on this.
Let's start from the front, work our way to the back. It is a 777 style GT 500 performance bumper. Something different. I didn't see too many out at the time, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to change it up. The older front end, the Gen 3 front end, is beautiful. I love it. It's actually probably a lot more aerodynamic than this one, but I need to change it up. And I plan on doing a new Shelby hood. So this hood is probably going to get removed. I just got to change it up. I want the car to be totally different all the way around. I like the stock hood, but I want to make this car my own. I wanted a different style that you will not see at every regular car show. So I plan on going with a Shelby hood, something different. I've never seen another Mustang guy run that type of hood I want to run. That Shelby just released it. I'm sure people will eventually have it, but for the time being, that hood should be on the way. On every little detail to the front, as you guys can see, go over to the headlight. All I added was that 10 strip to cover up that nasty orange marker, side marker. Gave it that more mean, aggressive look. Kind of funny story, I had these exact Rohanas on my 2016 Mustang GT. They are custom powder coated. It's a one-of-one color Took a long time to get, but they're actually a color change. So at this time of the day when it's kind of cloudy, they're more of a satin color. But when it's summertime and the light's hitting them, they're like super, super glossy with a lot of flake in it. And it's a different color you guys don't see all the time, and that's what I was trying to do, be more different. Brumbos I painted, and yes, you guys can see I put it on backwards. I did that for a reason. I didn't do that by accident, believe me.
Yes, you did.
No, I swear.
Bullshit.
I swear to God, dude.
You put a sticker upside down on purpose.
Yes.
No.
I don't like how it looks the other way. Okay, go look at your
What are you talking about? Hold up. What is this guy saying?
When I was putting the sticker on, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't
That looks proper.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Who reads it the other way?
I did at the
Your
moment.
brain is just messed
Hang
up.
on, hang on. Look. So you got that, and I turn the camera.
Yeah, that's chalked. Look at
I
you.
liked it better. I got compliments on it. Fuck you guys. Past the Brumbos. I shouldn't even have fucking mentioned that.
No, I'm
flamed.
surprised you did. Like, now you're gonna get flamed in the comments.
Dude, I swear. I think I like it though. It looks good. Drop a comment.
I mean, dude, I don't blame you because I know you run your tires backwards just because it looks better.
Yeah,
because the Michelin man's on the other side.
Yeah, you know.
Makes sense.
All right. I went BMW M4.
Ricer.
Yeah, he did go BMW.
Dude,
Damn, you got some chicken with that rice? You are looking a little leaner, but
is that
geez.
some spray carbon, dude? That's fake as hell.
Dude, just got a car back. Why are you talking shit, this motherfucker?
Dude, it's been 5 months, dude. It's time.
In the 5 months in the mid.
Yo, he's been waiting.
Run it. You about to get gapped. I'm on the big meats, son. Big old Larry Hoovers.
Yeah, I ain't got those.
I saw these mirror caps. I saw them on my buddy Radon's car. I actually thought they looked pretty good. And you know, when the SY50 came out, they called it the European Mustang because they got rid of the straight axle and they put the IRS in it. So that's all I remember. And I was like, you know, let's run it. See how they did. I mean, the fitment on them is perfect. It looks cool. It gives it more like an aggressive look. So I was like, hell with it. It was like 40, 50, I think it was like 60 bucks. So slap them joints on there. In case y'all are wondering, the tint that I run, every single one of my vehicles, 50% on the windshield. And if you guys know tint, 50% is super, super light. It's almost like a very, very mild sunglasses. So it's kind of perfect when we're driving in the summer, at night, pitch black, I can see perfectly fine. And over to the sides, I went with, I believe it was 20% on the sides and 50 on the windshield. Perfect at night, no problem seeing at all. And if you drive a lot during like summer season when it's super bright, it's so much easier on your eyes. So on the back, oh shit, almost bit the mic.
He's deep throating the mic. All right,
Okay, on
we
the
gotta
back,
lock it in, dude.
We got the we got the S71 welds with the Mickey Thompson ET Street R. They hook pretty good. Second or third, depending on the day, spins a little bit. But overall, from a dig, when I raced up in West Virginia, it hooked and booked. One, it was at the right PSI, but I love the welds. So much lighter than the Rohanas. Over to the back of the car, we have a GT 500 performance pack, I guess you want to call it, spoiler, with the gurney flap. And I actually tested this gurney flap at Pocono Raceway to see. So it was kind of like a half mile. You only floor it. It's from a 60 roll, 60 miles an hour, and you floor it for 1,300 feet. So you floor it for pretty much another quarter mile. But my car trapped 130 miles an hour 6 times with the gurney flap on. Then I took the gurney flap off and it picked up to 141 miles an hour. So this does actually work. Like I proved it, tested it, it works. So it's pretty insane. To the taillights, I went with Euros. Everyone goes with Euros. I mean, it just looks so much better. Turn it on so you guys can see. Still has the factory red. It just kind of gives it that more shape. I mean, that's with the Gen 3 lights in general, but when they're off, clear. I went with the smoked clear, I believe it's called. Has a great look on the car. I wanted it to be more blacked out, more like a menacing look. For my exhaust setup on this car, I have Cook's long tube headers, green high flow cats, a Steeda X pipe, and my factory active mufflers. And car actually sounds extremely good. Give it a
You can start it real quick, yeah. Hit a little startup. And the beauty of it is like it's active.
It's active.
So is this fully open?
No, I believe it's like kind of in normal.
All right, hit the modes real quick. We gotta check this out.
All right, so this is in normal mode. This is going to quiet.
Oh wow.
Dude, it's a big
yeah, that's awesome.
Now straight to track mode.
That's pretty sweet.
It's got a good flow to it, so it's not consistently like idling super, super loud. That is one thing I hate about some Mustangs. They make them a lot louder than they are fast. Some cars just scream and they go nowhere.
Don't look at me.
As soon as you said that, I was like, here we go. It begins. It begins.
Side look at me. Dude,
Kinda.
it's stupid loud.
Yeah, it is.
Shit's dumb
when
loud.
I got in today, I was like, oh my god, I forgot how loud it is.
Dude, we started up at the house last night. Disgusting.
I'll start it right now.
That's too much for me.
That's big dick energy right
It
there.
really is. When you walk around, you just let it hang like this.
Oh, dude, it's down here.
I think my car turned off. See, it's kind of undercover because you know when I rip on it, she screams.
Yeah.
You remember
I
when
didn't like
these
it.
when these
Personally,
first
I didn't
dropped?
like
I
it.
hated them, man.
I went to the
did too.
auto show in California and they had a black Gen 3 sitting there under the lights and everything, and I was like, damn, that looks good in person. Pictures never do the
That's
the
how
car
the
justice.
GT500, the new
Dude,
GT500
they never,
was.
the pictures never do it justice,
that-
and Ford always
didn't like
releases
that
the
stop.
ugly color.
Yeah, because when they revealed the Gen 3, it was that orange color.
Yeah, they use the orange. I mean, they need to use like a black or even a white to kind of show more of the body lines. Like the white, you can see.
I never liked
all the lines, how everything runs. Kind of like a super bright color. You can see it under certain lightings, but I don't know. I feel like to show a true car's lines, it needs to be white or black. All right, so let me show you guys what I got underneath. It's an LS3.
I mean, you are 0-5, so I mean. It
0-5 against who? 0-5 against who? Let them know. Right up front, as you can see, this is the LS Killer Ford Racing Intake Cobra Jet. We got it matched to a mono blade VMP throttle body, which actually works amazingly well. I've heard a lot of like mixed signal things about that with idling problems and drivability, but a lot of you guys, I mean, you've seen how I drive this car. It drives like stock. It really does. We cleaned up me and the tuner, and it's not tuned by Lund, not tuned by Palm Beach. It's a personal friend that used to work for Ford. An awesome dude. He knows, he used to build these engines, and the car runs great. I mean, I have no complaints. Starts up great on the 85. Dude, I beat the shit out of it at Pocono. 10 plus runs on it back to back to back. Car never had one single hiccup, and it's still proving a point to this day. Just got a regular intake on there, Mishimoto coolant tank, and I went with a regular JLT 3.0 catch can setup. Pretty simple setup. There's a lot of other stuff I could do. Heads, I could port the heads, I could do cams, but this car just runs so good. It made such power, and it just did it so easy, and it was just like the shop really told me they don't. I was thinking about doing cams, and I'm like, it's not worth it. The motor runs fine. If I do anything, I plan on building another Coyote on the side, but I want more cubic inch. So I want to have at least like a 383 cubic inch Coyote block with GT350 heads, stage whatever cams that I could run E85 in, Cobra Jet mono blade, but I want to have an all motor Coyote relatively around 700-800 horsepower. That would be the awesome goal. If it's possible, I've seen a couple shops do something similar to that, how I want in Detroit, but they run on like C16 race gas. But I want something that I could put in this car, slap everything back on, and no one's really gonna know a single thing. That's what I want. I kind of want it to be undercover as shit. And I just like the gap cars that are boosted. I mean, it's not the fastest car in the world. I've been gapped by a lot of things faster. Derek's car could obviously gap me. Brandon has no chance in hell.
Before you did all this, I did.
It was close. You were spinning and I was spinning.
And I almost ran into my mom.
It was a good run. It was a good run, though.
For the people out there watching this video that potentially want to buy a Coyote, and maybe you do want to go the full bolt-on, all-motor route, hear me out when I say this. Do not go Gen 1 if you want to go that route. You want to go to the Gen 3.
Gen 3 is more...
It's just more, makes the most
efficient.
power
just with bolt-ons.
Yeah. Bolt-ons, like he said, he's right at 500 horsepower, max effort, and that's what I meant. I know you can do more motor work, but if you're looking for a Coyote platform, the 10-speed full bolt-on E85 NA setup, you cannot go wrong because one, like he said, you're going to be beating cars with that setup that you never really thought it would beat, and two, it's more reasonable. Like my car, it's fun, but if I want to play around in it, that's jail time. Like it really is. This car, it's fast, but you can also enjoy
it's more controllable.
It's drivability
more
of
drivable.
it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's another thing I wanted, like kind of this setup. I love a stick shift car. Believe me, at the end of the day, my Fox body still a stick shift. But to stay consistently racing and beating a car, I think you need to go 10 speed or 6R80 just for the simple fact, less room for error, number one. They're a lot cheaper. You don't have to worry about clutch. You don't got to worry about axles. And my car just doesn't have that initial hit like a stick shift car would. So being my car as is, there's another car at the shop that's just like mine, full bolt-ons, but it's a stick car, MT82, and he already broke his axles on his car. Just the way they leave and they snap it and it hits. It's just, I don't know. To me, I'm not the biggest automatic fan in the world, but like when you start weighing the pros and cons, automatic just screams.
When it comes to racing,
yeah, when it comes to race, if you're strictly like, if it's for drivability, it's like, okay, you guys don't race the car, you throw a couple bolt-ons at it, you can drive it to enjoy it, go manual 100% of the time. But if you're doing this, like from my point of view, for filming, consistently racing the car from event to event to event, I believe automatic is the way to go to. I mean, you see a lot of other people with stick shift cars, they run into problems, the clutches, the axles, the drive shaft, like everything. I mean, I already upgraded most of the stuff besides the axles, but it's just one less thing to worry about in my opinion.
One of the main things with the Gen 3s that they really came out of the gate swinging on was the interior. I remember when they first came out and I sat in the first Gen 3 that I had on the channel, I was pretty shocked because they went the extra step with this interior, and that's why I call them like the Mercedes-Benz of Mustangs, because it's the nicest interior they've ever dropped in a Mustang. So I know he has some stuff on the way, but he recently just did a steering wheel in his car. By the way, you guys can win a full carbon steering wheel. You just have to use the link in the description. Go do that. It's honestly so comfortable, all leather, premium option.
So as you can see, I went with a forged carbon steering wheel through Dyna Performance. It is white stitching, white stripe at the top, and it also has leather. I'm not a huge fan of Alcantara. I had a GT350 steering wheel on my Gen 2. I loved it. Put about 30,000 miles on it, and eventually it started to wear and deteriorate. So I was like, you know what? Let me change it up. Keep leather, because everything else in this car is leather. It is more of the premium trims. So I kind of want everything to match and be the same. But I do have something crazy on the way. I don't even really know if I should say it.
No, don't say it. Save it. Got the paddles back here. He has something pretty cool coming for those. You know, your 10-speed. Again, you got your Apple Play. The digital dash is just insane. I know Brandon installed that on his Gen 2, but get the best of both worlds with this. You really do. I think that's all we have for you guys today, man. Like, Jake came into town, and you know, we knew we had to hop on the grind, get back into the mix of things. It's been slow around here. There's just really not much to do. So with our big announcement though, that's gonna change. We're gonna have some fun stuff going on, and I can't wait, because it's just like I hopped in this for the first time in like a month. That's bad. That is just terrible. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Damn, dude, I'm like rusty. Psych!